Ordinary Angels stars Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson, and it's actually a surprisingly good movie, guys. It came out last weekend. The IMDb synopsis reads, inspired by the incredible true story of a hairdresser who single-handedly rallies an entire community to help a widowed father save the life of his critically ill young daughter. Now, I saw the trailer for this and I was kind of intrigued. A lot of it had to do with Alan Ritchson. I haven't been watching Reacher, so I haven't really seen a lot of his work, and this was the first time that I got to see him um, act on screen, and he's good, man. He's got some dramatic chops, and you don't quite expect it from a big dude. And this is the guy who played Butch on Gotham. He plays a pastor. It was kind of fun seeing him, but I'll tell you this: Hilary Swank is a standout here. She's the woman that sees the story in the news and just tries to go out and help this family pay their hospital bills, right? Now, she's not without her own faults. She struggles with alcoholism and kind of stuff like that, holding down a job and stuff. So when she shows up, he's kind of like reluctant to take her help, but she's really going out of her way to help. And you're on board with it. And a lot of it has to do with Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson because of their performances. And it's kind of like they don't like each other for a bit. They like each other. They appreciate each other for a bit. And, he's trying to do it all on his own. He's trying to be a man and step up. And he's dealing with the loss of his wife. His kid is sick. They need a liver transplant. And you're like, you get on board with it. It's charming. It's one of those roller coaster movies where, yeah, it's going to tug at you here at times. But by the end of it, you're going to be kind of like, holy crap. This is a good movie. I'm really pleasantly surprised with what I'm seeing with Ordinary Angels. Is it really heavy on all of the religious stuff? No, it's not. I thought that perhaps it may be like, okay, here's the big praying scene. And it's like it's not like that at all, guys. Of course, there's a funeral, so of course they're going to end up in church, and then there's a huge snowstorm towards the end, and the community comes around and rallies to help this family out, and it was a good experience for February. And in February, we've been kind of far in between good stuff. Like we've had Bob Marley, which was good. Ordinary Angels has been good, but Madame Web, Lisa Frankenstein, these other movies have not been good. So it's refreshing to finally see something like Ordinary Angels just come out and be kind of like, well, yeah, that was a good movie. That was a good movie. Is it better than Bob Marley? They're two different types of movies, and it's going to be hard for me to rank it when I do my February rankings here. But let's go and start filling in some numbers here on my review sheet. Acting, directing, and story out of a possible 2 points each. Cinematography and score out of a possible 1 point. Guys, I'm going to give acting a full 2 points because, as I said, Hilary Swank and Alan Ritchson are good. But the two daughters, the young daughters in this, also do very well. And it's just like there's multiple scenes where it's just like these smaller side characters show up, like her son shows up, and it's kind of like, well, I don't want to talk to you, mother. I don't know which version of you I'm going to be talking to because she's got problems, right? And it's just all overall well done. The execution of the story is good. Now, it is a little bit drawn out towards the middle. Perhaps it has a few lulls that go on a little bit too long. And by lulls in the story, I mean that, okay, we're pausing here to either give some exposition or fill in some backstory for a character to set up something in the next scene. And sometimes it takes a little bit too long to get to that because it's kind of like, well, we kind of already know that, but it's kind of like okay because you're enjoying the rest of the movie kind of thing, right? So there's a few minor things in there that shouldn't detract. Cinematography and score. Cinematography, I'm going to give a surprising full point here because there's stuff during the snowstorm and stuff. It's just competently done, and The score was serviceable. What I mean by some of the cinematography here, guys, is that uh, it's cinematic. It's not all kind of like, okay, here are the three stage lighting kind of stuff and everything's perfectly lit. No, it's not like that all the time. Sometimes there's a little bit of grain to it, but it's all really well shot and very well composed, that I noticed. So based on that, guys, I think mostly a lot of people really enjoyed it. Let's go over the tomato meter. 82% by critics, 99 by the audience. So yeah, guys, if you have if you've seen Bob Marley last week, go out and see Ordinary Angels this week, because it was a thumbs up in my book, 82%. And that's close to where I'm probably going to side with it. It's probably second, third favorite movie of the year so far for me. And it's not getting enough people talking about it, so I want to do my part by talking about it, because it was good. Tribune News Service didn't like it. The characters' motivations don't gel, and no amount of Swank moxie can make it work. Huh. Were we watching the same movie? Richard Roper liked it. I can't think of a single plot development that will surprise you, and sometimes that's okay. Sometimes it's enough to sit back and settle in for a comfort viewing movie. Okay. Leonard Maltin liked it. Ordinary Angels is a true story, and a remarkable one at that. Living with our 2-year-old granddaughter has made me especially vulnerable to dreams about young children in peril. And it didn't take long for this one to open my tear ducts. Well, yeah, there's that too. Now, somebody's weird to complain, well, you're only crying because it's a small kid who's going through these problems. But there's this one scene where it's just the two kids. And they get the diagnosis down that she's not going to... Yeah, so it's kind of like that. See, even just thinking about that scene between the two kids was starting to get me a little bit teary-eyed there, guys. It's that good. And that's why I would recommend it. She gives her like a Christmas gift, so she can see what it is. It's just so well done. My God, I'm getting choked up here. But yeah, I thought it was a good film. So looking at the snapshot reviews, I think a lot of people just seem to be echoing that. Film Focus Online says Ordinary Angels is equal parts inspiring and emotional, helmed by two incredible lead performances and telling an important story. For some, it'll be too saccharine to stomach, yet undeniably tugs on the heartstrings. Yes, it does. And you just saw that a little bit here with the way I was describing one of the scenes in the movie. Those little scenes are peppered throughout the movie, so it's just not that one. There's other things in here too. Every story arc seems to come around and have closure, so thumbs up for that. I would say that the watchability factor is pretty strong, and I hope that word of mouth gets out about this, because it's worth seeing. So where would I rank watchability factor? Well, it's got a good premise. It's worth at least seeing once, but I would even go back and revisit this again. Is it good enough for me to own on Blu-ray for an 8.5? Not, I wouldn't be opposed to it, but let's just stick with that for right now. 8 out of 10 for Ordinary Angels, guys. Hilary Swank is good. Alan Ritchson, as I said, if you haven't seen him in Jack Reacher yet, and you want to see what kind of work he can do, God, my God, this guy's got some chops. He does. And he lets you see it. He lets you see it. It's kind of cool, because it's kind of like he's got this big macho facade on it to begin with, but it's slowly, he starts to show his vulnerability, and a lot of it is done with just his eyes, surprisingly. It's just the look in his eyes. You can see that he's trying to be tough, but there's also panic and like doubt in there. And he was able to capture all of that, which is kudos, man. So my first big exposure to Alan Ritchson has been a really good one, guys. Ordinary Angels. Are you going to go out and see it? Hey, you know that Doom Part 2 is coming out this week. My straight out of the theater reactions for that is up on the channel right now. If you are not interested in that, and you're not interested in Bob Marley, go out and see Ordinary Angels. You won't regret it. It's just a great time at the movies. All right, guys, that's it for me. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments below, and we will talk about it. Hey, if you like this kind of stuff and you want to see more reviews from me, my damn web is up on the reviews up on the channel. So it is for Lisa Frankenstein. Both, yeah, guys, we kind of know that those are stinkers. Trailer reactions for Godzilla X Kong, Deadpool and Wolverine. Damsel. We're gonna be watching Damsel here pretty soon. Wicked trailer, Quiet Day Place One, Society of the Snow trailer reaction. And then, hey, if you don't know, we do movie news throughout the week where we talk about all the trending movie news headlines of the day. If you like movies, you like series, you like talking about all this kind of entertainment stuff, you're going to have lots of fun here, right here on Mirror Domains. All right. Now that is out of the way, we can talk about some weekend's box office. So where did Ordinary Angels